and welcome to this panel discussion. My name is Anthony, and who will be joining me today is Angelica, Janessa, Linda, and Daisy. So the subject that we'll be discussing is homelessness due to mental illness. Homelessness, by definition from the U.S. Department of Housing, is basically people sleeping outside, but more specifically, sleeping in habitations that aren't meant for them. More specifically, like abandoned buildings, cars, or even transitional housing programs. So I was just wondering, what's all your takes on homelessness due to mental illness?
Well, I want to expand on your definition of homelessness because some organizations considered cohabitation as homeless, and cohabitating are those people who don't have their own house but move from relative to relative or friends. You know, they'll stay on a week at a time because they don't have their own place. So they're considered homeless also, but not all programs are available to those people.
I see.
So as far as the national survey is concerned, there is roughly 550,000 people considered homeless at any one time. Of that, about 150,000 are families with children, and the rest are single people. But of those group, those that help contribute to it are the kids coming out of foster care.
Right.
So then they have no place to go. You have the disabled people. You also have the homeless vets, but
they have their own organizations.
right, that can help with the homelessness and with their mental problem. They also have people who are running away from domestic violence. You have those that are considered chronically homeless, and those are the people who have been on the streets for 6 months or so or more. And then you have a group that are mentally, that has mental illness.
That need mental treatment, and since they are homeless, they can't afford nor be able to get to the treatment that they need, and there are various disorders that don't help but contribute to the homeless issue, which is PTSD, bipolar disorder, depression is also a big factor, and schizophrenia is also a major contribution to the people who are mentally ill and are also homeless. You know, even though in the nation here, maybe 1 to 2% of people have schizophrenia, 20% of the homelessness community are schizophrenic, and therefore they can't get the help that they need. You know,
Or might not want.
or may not want the treatment.
And you know, it's a sad thing in Solano County alone, there are like about 1,200 people who are homeless, and within that 1,200 people, there are maybe approximately 200 that are known to have mental illness. It's a sad thing. And it brings me to a story from Lori Zaff, where her mother suffered mental illness in the 1960s and 70s that drove her to alcohol addiction. Vodka was her coping mechanism. During this time of the 60s and 70s, there was a stigma towards mental illness. She sadly never received the treatment that she needed, and she actually died at age 44 in the streets. Well, our main goal, we want to take a stigma off of
Mental illness.
mental illness, and anybody should feel comfortable receiving any kind of treatment that they need.
It's true, but even though they are mentally ill, they are also homeless, and it also makes us very hesitant on helping them. And then on top of them being mentally ill and all of the symptoms that contribute with that, we can be very hesitant and not be able to want to be able to help them and give them the treatment that they need.
That can be true.
That's very unfortunate. I want to actually go back to the schizophrenia. I had a friend whose uncle was severely schizophrenic. I mean, he had his good days here and there, and sometimes he would come by to my friend's parents' house and stay a few nights and end up wandering off. So they tried helping him out, giving him some sort of treatment, try to take him to certain hospitals to see if they can help him out, and he just wouldn't take it.
No.
But to the ones that we're trying to help out, that we're so hesitant of? Like, why is it that we're so afraid of them? What's that stigma all about?
Well, we stigmatize the homeless as being aggressive because in the media they're portrayed as being aggressive, and there's a fear factor that comes from that. So if a homeless person comes up to us, we tend to cross the street or turn the other direction, and we don't want to approach homeless people that we see on the street in fear that they might attack us or they're a scammer or nothing good is going to come out of what we're trying to do for them.
Yeah, and like she was saying, like, it's seen in the media that they are very angry, they're erratic, their behavior is just out there, you know. We won't put anyone out there, you know, Kevin Hart, you know, there are like specials and stuff like that where they talk about people who are homeless and they portray them in such an awful light, and that leaves an impression in our mind. It's just like, well, I don't want to help them, you know. And especially if you see those news stories about, you know, people being attacked by people who are homeless, it leaves a bad taste, and it's just like, I'd rather not and just let them deal with themselves.
Right.
Yeah, and we usually hear those stories, the negative stories about the homeless people attacking us or the scammers on the news, and we never see the homeless people that really do need help, and we don't focus as much on those population.
Right. But it's also because of personal experience, too.
Yeah.
I mean, shopping at Costco and Safeway, you're seeing the same people month after month,
Yep.
sometimes year after year. And so you're trying to figure out, are they actually homeless or are they trying to scam us? Now, you know, the first couple times, okay, we'll give them money, we'll help them out.
You feel sympathy?
You feel right. And then, you know, once you keep seeing them again and again, it's kind of like, I don't know, do you really want to help them? Are they really searching for help, looking for help? Or are they just wanting to stay there? Or are they scamming us because another experience I've had is, another experience I had was that the Costco in Vallejo,
Oh.
you've got a family standing there asking for help, but they're dressed in brand names, you know, and I don't dress my kids in $100 shoes and $200 jeans or whatever. So it's, you know, it leaves a bad taste. So you don't really want to approach and help. But now, you know, every once in a while when people approach me and ask for help, I'll offer them food, I'll offer them drinks, but I won't offer them, you know, money.
Yeah.
So at least, or, you know, even sometimes I'll ask them if they need a ride somewhere. Kids don't like that, but, you know.
And then, speaking of aggression, there's actually a story about my boyfriend. He was going to work, and he approached this one homeless man, and the man was like asking for money, and my boyfriend didn't have money at the time. So the homeless man, he actually got out a sharp rock, almost like was knife-like, started getting my boyfriend. Got a scratch here and here. But thankfully, there are other people who helped out my boyfriend, so I don't know exactly what happened to the homeless man, but that was all just taken care of, thank goodness.
Yeah. And, you know, even though that does happen, we still do have to pay attention to those people who do need the help and the treatment that they need and how they can get it, because, you know, just recently 2 hotels or something like that just closed down that were shelters for the homeless people, and now, you know, since the rain is coming in, like recently, they don't have anywhere else to go. And they don't have a place or be able to get the treatment that they need. So the question is, what can we do?
So as a group, one of the solutions we came up with to help this problem is to create questionnaires for the homeless people, and they would be given out by student volunteers. And giving out these questionnaires, we'd find out what kind of problems there are out there, what kind of help they need, and where the problem is occurring most. And this would increase our shared meaning between us and the homeless population, which would help us more effectively help them.
Yeah. And like you said, we can use those questionnaires and be able to make some sort of identification for them. So then we can identify who these people are and where they possibly need to go.
Right.
So then maybe they can like get like tickets or like maybe some sort of transportation on buses and stuff like that.
Right. So I was thinking the Solano Transit Authority would be the authority we people we would need to approach. And if we can get those identification and identify who truly are homeless and who need help, then work with them, and they can work with the other bus companies and allow the homeless people to
Get rides.
to the shelters that they need to go to get the care they need, you know, just temporary housing, eat clothing, if they need medication.
Interviews.
Right.
Yeah.
To help them with interviews and stuff like that. So we have, we were thinking, so the identification would help, and that would be kind of enforcement, so the transit authority and the IDs every 3 months or so to renew them, just like here at school, where for every semester we would have to have a new sticker on our stuff that allows, you know, the buses to identify us. And from that, we could probably use last resort, Solano-wide county tax, about an 8%. But I was thinking there's some, the homeless shelters actually get funding from are subsidized by the Housing and Urban Development. So with that, they're supposed to do like continuum of care. So that means getting them there, getting them the shelter, getting them the help, getting them medication, working with them to place them. And that would fall under that area, and so that's the other source of funding we can work at.
All right. And, you know, also if there are some homeless people here in Solano County and they just happen to come to the school, there is also some places that you can go to where you can talk to some people, and they will also be able to give you the help that you need. So you don't even have to leave Solano Community College to get the help that you need.
And and using the questionnaires, we could make sure the buses hit the places where the homeless population is the highest, like Vallejo and Richmond would have more bus stops probably than other cities in the county.
Yeah, and that would direct them to the facilities that they need to go to, like the Opportunity House.
Mission Solano is definitely one of them. The Heather House, I
Heather
believe.
House is the other one. And there are also other grassroots organizations that offer help in temporary housing and also in classes to teach them how to work and live in the society.
Okay.
Wow, it sounds like really good stuff. I really hope that it actually follows through with these ideas, and that's it.
If you are interested in a career in sports broadcasting, whether you're commentating a live game
or hosting your own TV show,
or working behind the scenes, then this is the class for you.
For more information, contact Greg Poff, that's me, at solano.edu.
we hope to see you here next semester, and remember,
It's more than just sports, it's an education.